I'd like to call the July 14th, 2025 to open the College Park District Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Mission and vision. Is there any volunteers? Ellen?
Sure. PPMPD mission statement. Provide a welcoming public aquatics facility managed in a fiscally responsible manner with a focus on educating all ages on skills of aquatic safety. We carry out this mission with a board and staff who are compassionate, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of our diverse community, working to foster positive and fun experiences with aquatic environments. PPMPD vision statements contributing to the quality of life in our community and for future generations through welcoming fun, safe, and positive aquatic experiences in Philippines.
Thank you. Right, the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Start on my far right.
Commissioner Frangillo Anderson present.
Commissioner Shipman present.
Commissioner Gaylor present. And online.
Commissioner Stahl present.
Commissioner Zappa is present. We are also joined by our Executive Director, Brad Harpin, our District Clerk, Emily Snur, and our Programs Manager, Anastasia Shakur. I'd like to open for motion to approve the agenda. Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Commissioner Shipman seconds.
Is there any discussion about the agenda? Seeing none, those all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
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 All those opposed? Next thing is employee of the month. Who would like to tell us a little bit about the month?
Yeah, I can do that. So Omar, one of our lifeguards, has been with us for a couple of years now, almost 2 years, I guess. Omar's been super awesome. He came back this summer, after taking a little bit of a break, sports and whatnot, but he's just been doing such a great job, really exemplifying what it means to be a lifeguard, really high safety standards. He upholds expectations every day. He's one of our solid team members, so we just want to thank him for being there, for being present, and for really exemplifying what we look for in a lifeguard. It's a cool.
Oh, that's great. Just in the future, I totally forgot about this, is normally we have a thank you card.
I have them.
Okay, if you could just start sending around and do it as first. Thank you, Amara. Is there any discussion? Good job.
Good job, Amara.
And I distributed some citizen comments. Is there any discussion about the comment? And just a comment on comments is we did listen and hear that, the comment tracker. And we're just gonna finish getting the details ironed out at the next leadership meeting, and we're collecting all those comments that we're getting and putting it into a tracker so we can track status set. So we're just getting some of the details and not ironed out. So just thank you for the comment suggestion. So moving on to the consent agenda. For a motion to approve it.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
A second.
Commissioner Shipman seconds.
Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
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 All those opposed? So we are now moving on to reports, and those starts with the executive director.
Yeah, just a few things from the pool itself. Pool pump number 5, one of our bigger projects that is happening this year. Just want to give everyone a quick update. We are planning a full day closure to be determined, but relatively soon, to replace out our main pool pump. And all we are waiting for is additional materials from Orca Pacific before we can make that scheduling arrangement. So more information to come, and additional communication as soon as we settle on a day. But that should replace our current pump, which is slowly failing, and should give us, hopefully, better turnaround and, longer backwashing and filtration. So we're not burning through, materials. WCA 2025 liability exposure questionnaire. This is the piece we've all been waiting for. This is, part of our 2026 insurance assessment process. So this questionnaire will help inform rates and, kind of that assessment that should be coming out soon. So, we will be on the lookout for that letter from WCA we get every year that we can plug into our budget and know what we could potentially expect in terms of insurance costs. No update on the 3-year financial audit, just so everybody's aware. As soon as that information becomes readily available, we will distribute that within finance committee as well as through all the rest of the commissioners. We'll get a copy of that. Yeah, pretty much the bigger pieces there. And then I'll just quickly mention sports facilities companies, is continuing some work on our ongoing feasibility study. And they have provided us with, some project updates, which I included in this. And then we have a meeting scheduled July 16th, 12:30 PM. To discuss just kind of the loose parameters of the pro forma that they are putting together, because they just want to make sure that they're heading in the right direction and it starts to satisfy our check boxes. So more information to come there as well. Everything else is just informational unless anyone has any questions.
Anyone have any questions for Brad? I just wanted to officially welcome Emily to our meetings and to our district. Really excited to have Emily coming on board, and thank you for everything you've done so far, and I'm excited going forward. I really appreciate seeing the staff trainings in this report coming up, with Emily attending an upcoming OPMA, which I actually also requested be forwarded to the commissioners for continuing education. There's some really, hopefully some good information at that one. And then you're also gonna, when it's available, we'll be signing up for the platform with records officer. So that's gonna be very helpful in your. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, moving on to operations and programming. Anastasia representing.
Yeah, not much to really say there. I just want to highlight cardboard boat races are this weekend, so hopefully some of you guys have not my email earlier. But that's our most major event coming up here this Saturday, so we're super excited. It should be 100 individual spots available. I realize it says 110. But as of right now, we have 22 registered, so lower than anticipated, but hopefully we'll get some more numbers the day of like we typically do. But yes, that's all I really wanted to highlight for this month.
Do we know what the weather is supposed to be like on Saturday?
Yeah.
Like 90?
Not
90.
Oh, no,
Like 85.
it's not.
It's still pretty hot.
Yeah, oh, actually, according to this, 73.
Yeah.
Oh, we've heard of this.
That's gorgeous.
Are there any questions for programming or operations? I just wanted to comment, I really appreciate the quarterly programming and operations reports. And I was just mentioning to Brad earlier, it'd be great to have these easily readily available in the folder. And we might already do that just so for grants and stuff like that, if we wanted to take a look at the year of 2025 for all the data. It's nice because it's high level, but it's got enough detail that it can give a picture both for operations and for programming. We can see they did a great job putting it together, so thank you. And I just had a question about summer youth passes. You know, like, are they popular this year?
They seem to be, but I don't have the specific.
Yeah, no worries,
I just, yeah, but they seem to be, we're pushing those more, so for families, especially if they have kids that are older than 6, so. It's cheaper than the full family membership, so I think a lot of people are trying to do that.
Yeah, I think Councilmember Martinez made the comment when I met his son in June about how he'd been at the pool the day before, picking them up for his grandkids. He really appreciates that option. Other comments on- okay.
That's only a question on the steps for the shallow end, so those are, need to be repaired and the stuff's not gonna be here till September then?
September.
Well, I said
Or-
potentially, I didn't, we don't have a specific timeline right now, no. Sorry, approximate, but not exact. We don't have exact ETA on those yet, we just put the word to them, we just got on their build schedule, so. I mean, they're a smaller company as well, so it's a lot of coordination with them, but
That's for the whole new set then?
just parts.
Just getting new parts, like the plastic rail pieces that are breaking.
What was the thought?
Well, I'm just thinking like how often, cause I know we just replaced those like not too long ago, or at least a couple pieces, right? Like. within
Yeah, we
a year's
replaced,
time.
we replaced a full handrail, I think it was a year ago, year and a half ago. We replaced one whole side.
It makes me kind of wonder, I mean, if the cost wise, if they'll last for another however many years, we should have like those basically on backup, ready to go, since it's that much of a plausible way to get it in. And we're sitting with no way for people to get into the pool. I mean, mine is still lit and stuff, but like the average.
Yeah. It was interesting, this one, just full transparency, it wasn't gonna be two handrails. The second one broke because staff mishandled the equipment and did not follow their typical directions, so. Which caused a whole nother breakage, which immediately changed our order trajectory, so now he's building us two handrails and additional parts, so. The staff need to be careful and be very intentional about how they maneuver it, how they move it in and out, as well as it's the vigilance of keeping kids and families from walking on them when they're out of the water. And that was also part of the issue why the second handrail broke, so. But repair wise, they are very much aware, he knows we need them, and they are easy to communicate with, but they just have a build schedule that they put us within. But we are in their build schedule and they do not wait for payment to get it built and or shipped out. So if they have it ready to go prior to payment arriving, they just still ship it out. We're a customer, they know us well, so they're not concerned. But in terms of backup stock, I completely understand, and I think that's a decision we should probably make towards the end of the year based on our kind of our buckets of money. If we're trending well, I think we go ahead and place that order ahead of time and just have it downstairs ready to go.
Cause you feel like the rest of the stairs, I think, they're gonna continue to last for like extended period of time, so like.
I think so.
These are gonna break and the next part's gonna start breaking and then.
Right.
Replace the full stairs in like a year and a half.
No, so the treads were already, those are the most solid piece. We just ordered a wheel package to replace the wheels. That's part of this order. Two handrails for the shallow stairs. Remember, the 5-foot section stairs are relatively brand new. And holding up really well. They get less use than the shallow stairs. And the shallow stairs have been in the facility the longest, because those were here prior to me as well. So those have held up quite some time.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering like,
Yeah.
are they getting towards the end of life cycle or are they still?
Yeah, that's a tough call because, I think the replacement pieces is the best direction. Because I think we're all waiting to know what our next big step is. Ideally, we replace them 100% and we know we have, a brand new system in the water that's gonna last another 6, 8, 10 years. But right now, the replacement pieces are doing well as long as staff follow their training and not drag them or walk on them.
Have you had a lot of complaints from customers about them not being there?
A couple, not complaints, but just let us know when that's back in the water. Some are comfortable with the chairlift, but some people, there's a stigma around the chairlift. The visual in the pool of you using it. And so we do have some customers that just will not use the chairlift, even though if that's their opportunity. And then they do prefer the stairs. But they're very much patient, and so I have a list in my notebook of 2 people that have specifically called me that I told them I will definitely reach out as soon as those stairs are back in the water, and then they'll start utilizing the pool again.
And I know this is probably like a stupid question, but, and so the 5 foot deep stairs won't work, like even just like on the opposite side of the bulkhead?
Yeah, it's tough.
Or
That,
is it
that's
that
a,
much of a difference in stuff that we aren't able to do in there?
yeah, just from the specs, the design specs, for proper entry with the proper slope and utilization, they were specifically custom for the 5 foot section. Could they work in the shallow pool? No, because, the treads are wider. So we wouldn't have a second anchor point, unless we designed.
Well, I'm thinking like if it was like just right on the other side of the bulkhead,
Yeah, we'd have to drill two
you'd have
anchor
to drill
points.
2 new holes.
Yeah, and then set new anchor points so we can at least secure it when people are coming and going from it. That's our one challenge to utilize it, but yeah, I mean, in theory, I could ask them if it would work in 4.5 feet of water versus that 5 feet of water. Yeah, future thought.
Great question.
It's a good discussion. It's an important part of our pool. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it's
stairs,
it's a pretty big thing.
yeah, the stairs are critical for us.
Moving forward, that's certainly a consideration when you look at future designs and
Yeah.
stuff to minimize or eliminate that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we did the 5 foot section stairs finally, is because our customers told us like the easiest way in is through a gradual stepped entry. And so when we brought that, that was like a huge relief to our, especially our aging population or those with disabilities or injuries. And we leave them in the 5 foot section occasionally when people ask, during lap swim or other swims, if people say, hey, I really want to swim over there, would love for you to leave the stairs in, we will. So, but if we can figure out a way to make them work, if they can in the shallow pool, yeah, absolutely. That
I
is-
mean, it was kind of like, I mean, I don't know, I mean, kids that can't swim have access to all of the shallow area, but,
Yeah,
you know, entering in the deepest part of the shallow end,
also a challenge,
it's a little challenge, but.
but our seniors are our aging population are the
Yeah,
ones
people
requesting
that
it
are really
most.
using it the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our families are capable of the vertical stairs and have proven so on every single one of our family swims. It's our aging population that are really wanting those stairs accessible, so, yeah. Yes, I'll follow up with them tomorrow, see if we can get a better ETA then.
Any other questions, comments for ratings programming? Moving on to impact, and I know there's someone who'd like to report on the impact meeting. I know Jerry wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
And I wasn't.
Thank you for attending.
What?
Was it you that attended in my place?
Or Andrew.
Or was it Andrew?
Andrew, anyway, but
Oh, no, I guess it wasn't you, sorry.
who would like to report on impact?
Maybe to limit you.
Whatever. I was like, I think I have notes on it. You have a lot of them.
I think you have notes, I saw you writing.
I mean. Yeah, I mean, like some quick discussion for some of the lane, lap swim trial in the evening, which. Like, it sounds like we talked to Brad about it the other day, that might not be going as amazing as we hoped. You guys were hoping for that one. Pocket talk, I don't know if that's been purchased and being used. Talk discussion about that one. Like, yeah, some discussion about like the upcoming change out of the lights in the main pool deck area. Soon replacement for the pump replacements or shutdown. And putting together a new waiver for the insurance. And wouldn't be being start to get put together for that. And then like some general discussion on feedback for, you know, if they want to, you know, to do like a monthly thing and a quarterly thing, kind of like just overall, I think they should be valuing what that is, which I think be a discussion for the next couple meetings. So that, I mean, just of them. So.
Is there any questions that we have?
No, but lap swim real quick, because we didn't get to talk about Matthew's ops report, so I just wanted to back up real quick if I may.
Yep, no,
Awesome. Yeah, evening lap swim, just because it is a topic of discussion internally. It is something that Matthew and I are watching in his quarterly data. Since we've offered evening lap swim for the summer, it is not being well utilized, and the numbers do reflect. And so there is some internal communication that we put together and going out to our community that we will not be offering that last hour of lap swim that we chose to pilot this summer. So we will be ending it and we will not be staffing it. And that decision we made probably this week, and then we'll give customers like a week transition if they are waiting and utilizing, but we will not be offering the late night lap swim within the next week to 2 weeks.
So like the full-time quarter, or just the last hour of the night at 10?
Just that last hour,
So like
yeah.
8, so basically 8 to 9.
that 9 to 10, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll end the day at 9 as opposed to 10.
Perfect. Again, thank you, Tika.
Next meeting is this Saturday, July 28th.
July 9th.
Oh, that's not 19th. That's. That's for financial work.
And it is. July, it is Aaron and Jerry. Good. All right. Moving on to finance committee, Jerry.
We have a meeting on the 19th. This was the start of our 2026 budget discussion. We had a really good round with the expenses for the first round. We'll be looking at revenue at the July 28th meeting. And there was this discussion about with the feasibility, adding the 75,000 to the CIP for 2026 for grant continuation and support services. The next meeting is July 28th. It is going to be at 4:30 along with the August meeting, to allowing time for budget preparation. And for,
No, they don't even have that, right?
no,
By the end of July.
That's the goal from King County, is to start prepping for that major announcement by the end of the month.
I think I'm gonna bring up some of these folks, but, in Newport Corporate, so there's the executive director report, 2 pages. On the 3rd page, we talk about TPAC and PMOC minute.
That's under the district clerk section. So if you look on the second page, there's the district clerk section.
I'm sorry.
So executive director is the first page we have, and then district clerk.
Oh, district clerk, okay, district clerk part. Under TPAC and PMOC minutes, there's comment in that first sentence. Minutes will be brought to the July 18th, 2025 TPAC and PMOC meeting. It's July 19th, right? Okay, and, yeah, just wanted to verify. That's what it is.
Good call.
Not meeting on Friday.
No, we're not meeting out. So it is the 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
We all get that.
Any questions for finance?
Thank you, Finance.
Yes, thank you. I heard everyone go to the budget, we should spare some fun.
yeah. You may want to amend it too, but I just found notice too, because I forgot it, about the 4:30 start time for finance. It's just 5 o'clock here, so.
We all, exactly.
We are, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. The goal was to allow for that budget preparation, but also anyone can come at any time through that meeting to participate. If you are unavailable at 4:30, but you are available at a later time, please join us if you are able.
It's July 28th, is that a Monday?
Yes. All right, moving on to program P.
So, Anastasia already mentioned purple boat races on July 19th. We have, both TPAC and members of TMA met, and we're going to come to the meeting on the 19th with, some information about how we think we should move forward in both committees.
Yay, that sounds great. Any questions for Lima? Great, moving on to feasibility. Let's. Just a couple things that. Additionally, we, feasibility met with the city of Tukwila on June the 12th. It was Brad, myself, the mayor, Derek Speck was the head of economic development, and Pete Mayer, who has a multitude of titles right now. Was a focus on bringing the city up to speed on where we are at, developments prior to SFC coming out, so that they were aware that we were having a company coming in to do a feasibility study. And so that was helpful. It was definitely a relationship building meeting. It went very well. We wanted to make sure that we had a discussion about the city's vision for Parks and Rec, and if how aquatics fits in, whether they had any ideas, views, et cetera. And they really continue to say aquatics is our wheelhouse, but they really appreciated our bring the discussion up. We did ask about various city sites as contingency plans, and they provided some sites, and which included like City Hall and I forgot to list them all.
Long Acres,
Which ones?
Long Acres, City Hall.
The city fire station, but that's actually being put up for sale also.
Which fire station?
The one opposite the jet trampoline on Edinburgh Park.
Oh, they're gonna put that up for sale.
Yeah, they did at a council meeting,
Oh, okay.
sale slash lease possible. Trying to think what else, but those were the ones that stood out.
Talking about Foster Park.
We didn't
No.
really talk, because that's a school district property, so we were looking more for, we did actually have a discussion about it though, which is totally transparent.
What's the name of the park? right there?
Southgate.
Southgate, thank you.
But it wasn't actually
Wasn't that
the
on?
undeveloped park, it was the park down by Gully Garden. That was another one that was discussed, just very high level, and it was just interesting.
Well, we appreciated the fact that they came to the table prepared, and they were super engaged in that discussion, which was refreshing compared to some of the discussions we've had elsewhere. So it was just really good to just have an open, honest, transparent, pie in the sky discussion around opportunities.
And Sagali, they did
Yeah.
have a short discussion on Sagali also because of some differences in how Sagali is proceeding now. Maybe putting a little bit of a break on me, because originally they wanted to live the work part of it, the work person part they wanted, but now they're gonna do more focus on residential maybe. Moving forward, yeah, so they actually have brought cut sheets of all the properties, so like Brett said, really appreciate them coming to the table for ready to talk. It was a good relationship building, and they reiterated anything that they can do to help support us. They are supportive, so they're excited about that, being part of the conversation. We also, as we all attended the SFC outreach meetings, were on June 18th. Brad, Jerry, and I actually did a pre-planning meetings for those on the day before also with that team, and Brad, myself, and Jerry attended most of the actual stakeholder meetings on the day that Wednesday. Those stakeholder meetings included board members, TPAC members, community members, extended community members, city mayor's office, parks representatives, council members, TSE superintendent and directors. So a lot of stakeholders in the community were represented at the highest level, which was nice to see, and we appreciated everyone taking their time out of their day to come do this. And so just because I know people like numbers, at the new one, there were 9 attendees, at the 2 one, there was 4 attendees, at the 3 o'clock, there were 3 attendees. The tabling session at the pool, there weren't attendees, so to speak, and we were a little ambitious on scheduling, and I think we all just need a little bit of a break, and there wasn't a big rush of people or anything, so we took a little break on that one at pool, and then the SFC did some more, viewing our pool under full operation at that time, which was super helpful. And then at the later one, the 545, that many of you were at, there were 9 attendees at that one, so that we felt that the roundtable format helped with engagement for people feeling like they're part of the conversation. And we had a lot of supportive comments throughout the day. So that's just a summary of that, which I didn't have in my report. Any questions on that? Thank you so much for coming.
Let's say, it seems like when we did have, so a lot more people kind of show up throughout the day with different partners in the city and the schools. Do you think that it was due to having multiple times during the day to do that versus just like, we only have this time period from this to this, that we're gonna have a meeting?
Yeah.
And to be able to try and do more of that in the future,
I think if we.
even though it makes it long day for people, but.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that what you have identified, one of the successes is being able to meet people when's convenient to them, not versus saying, we're gonna have one time, and if it doesn't work for you, then you're not gonna be able to participate, because we had, like, a superintendent was running in, a little bit later into one, but, she would not have been able to make it at different times, and the mayor had certain times he could come, and Parks and Rec originally couldn't come, but then they realized they could come, and it was right at the beginning, so yes, you identified a success of it, but yes, it is a long day. It was fun.
Well, it's not, yeah, it's a long day with purpose, right? And I think the goal, seeing this format, it's just again, building enough of a buffer between each engagement opportunity. So that way folks can take a little bit of a break and or eat, so they feel good going into the later ones. But, yes, I think just letting people know that it's open, come as you are, come as you want. It's open, so if you show up at any one of them, even if it's halfway through, just show up. And I think that is exactly what we need to do, moving forward.
No, I was pleased, I mean, the people who attended participated, so that was really important.
And a few new people, which was great.
Yes.
We haven't met until that day, and now we see them at the facility regularly, so it's great to see folks that were utilizing us, engaged in that discussion, and then back in the water and even more engaged, so, yeah.
Yeah, so, more on SFC as we move forward, we'll let you know how it's going, but they seem to be on track. So I have no reason to believe that it's delayed in any way. They're definitely communicating along the timeline that they indicated, so that's good news. The other thing that didn't make it to the report is, I don't think, is you've got to have some communication from me on a comprehensive plan, and I gave you a lot of detail and emails about that, why we're moving forward. It will be added to our feasibility work plan. I'm in the process of drafting. Jerry, Brad, and Emily will be helping me review it. And we've requested TPAC and the board to have, bring emailing us any thoughts on the exemplars we provided. One was from Shore Aquatics, which is our friends up at Port Angeles. And then another one, which is that that white salmon pool down in the Connecticut River area. And they're they just started in police. So, once again, just a quick overview. It was precipitated by grants, and it was a requirement of RCO. Recreation Conservation Office, I think that is, grants, and whether we do or not, by those grants, we didn't want to put ourselves in a position where we didn't have a required element. So work back plan, we're starting now. And so more to come on that. Anyone has any questions about that?
Do you just want us to send you our thoughts about the different, or is this a discussion you're gonna have?
About so what I would like to have are the 2 example ones that I give, just what do you like about it, what do you not like it, because I don't want to do extra drafting. So some things have come out like, oh, we really would prefer it to look, or like this makes more sense for our district. I don't want to draft a whole bunch of stuff that's not really relevant, if that makes sense. I'm trying to streamline the work, so if you can see things in it that's just like, hey, that's great, can you make sure that's in it, or I like the way that that was done, then that's really helpful. But thank you for the question. I just outlined for Jerry or Jackie today, and she's gonna give me some feedback. And then, yeah, so I think that's a long report for feasibility, but that's the end of my report. Any questions on it? Our next meeting is on Tuesday, the 22nd at 4 p.m. And it's a week later than normal, just because the third Tuesday would be tomorrow. And we wanted to have a break in this meeting, and that meeting, that's why it's, because the first was on Tuesday. So at this point, is there any other questions on reports before? So at this point, we are gonna recess into executive session for RCW 42.30.1101B. Consideration of site selection or acquisition of real estate purchase or lease, if likely, the debt disclosure would increase the price. For a period of, yes. For a period of longitude.
Need time, yeah.
5 minutes. Let's say till 7, we can extend it. Till 7 p.m.
It did need to be extended. Just a reminder, please make us aware of the extension and the time that you would like extended for documentation.
Yes, and Emily will be here, so we were gonna staff obviously inside this executive session, this is just closed to public, so. Once we do that, we are just pause the little meeting, or I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just tell me when we're ready.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So we have, I'm back out of executive session, it is 7 o'clock. And we are going to be moving on to business item 1/2025 TPMPD TSD lease amendment. And there's a memo provided with the TSD's counter proposal, and our legal counsel's counter. So I guess, and I'm always confused, do we need to do the motion and then have the discussion on the motion? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I read some things recently that didn't, but, okay. Is there any questions anyone likes to get from this we brought?
For information that we read the.
Approve the, which draft?
Oh. I guess I'm not ready anything, but.
So once again, there's 2 drafts, there's our legal counsels and the TSD that they want to. Do people want some more clarifying information first?
Yeah, yes, I find information. So there are 2 drafts.
The first draft is what the school district has provided the CPMPD with exhibit A as an attachment, and just so everyone's aware, exhibit.
Sorry, I was like on to the next strategic plan.
Yeah.
I was ready to move on, I'm sorry.
So Vanessa, what do we need? What do you,
Well, is
A motion.
a motion to approve a draft, we can have a discussion and amendments in it. If we're wanting to move the draft back to TSD, or the intention is to move some kind of draft back to TSD.
And that's what the motion is for us to move another draft to them.
Sorry, to approve a draft.
Approve a draft.
Which, a specific draft.
So we have to say which
Which
specific.
draft?
So what if we don't, we want more clarifying information?
Well, we can amend it then within the discussion, then we can do a motion to amend it.
So it's gonna go back to the school district with our questions and what we need to have
Yes,
provided.
correct. Yes.
And that's gonna be discussed right now.
Yes. So if we have a motion to approve a draft, then we can have discussion and amend that draft. Or we can just have a motion to amend a draft, and then we can have a motion to approve the draft as amended. If we know what we want amended in it. Let's say it this way, does anyone have a preference between drafts?
Well, I
Yes.
think it's a legal draft.
Okay, so let's just,
It's Brian reviewed it, so that would be my preference.
mine too, but I'm just not assuming anything.
Is that, like, it doesn't need to be a title change, amendment to the league, that's the first draft, right?
Yes,
So it's
well,
one,
they both
three,
say it, the one with the red one is Brian's.
and then, right, okay, so, okay, so I make a motion that we approve, the second, and I'm just gonna call it draft two.
Or, the draft approved by TPM and legal.
Yeah, like I draft approved, approved by the TPM review.
Commissioner Shipman, silence.
Okay, so discussion on it.
We want to clarify questions.
Sure. So clarifying questions, what would we like? Amended, added, changed, answered.
I guess I was exactly asked the question why they took it from 21 to 15.
Labor agreements.
That's right, you did say that.
We wanted to get clarification on 1.21, the second move,
That's good. Very cool.
where as long as the parking does not unreasonably interfere with regular school operations, we were okay because it said that.
That was in the original, what we presented to them back in September.
Okay.
I'm a little hesitant to what we actually presented. But there was something about
Expectations,
the policies and procedures.
So there is policy issues with exhibit B, we need to have that.
Now, is it? Would that? It's their policies and procedures, so the question is, does that need to come back to us, because we can't approve their policies and procedures? We just need to have what they are listed.
Right.
yeah, it's just an article that just, this is our roadmap, just an awareness piece, right, as an additional document. Within what we're approving.
So what I'm looking at a process, like what that looks like, would it need to come back to us?
No.
Because it's not our policy, it just needs to be attached. They need to have,
I mean, mine is coming back to us, if we're looking at it and it just says. Call whoever, and there's no information about what it is.
but if that's their policy and procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, so I'm just saying, are we okay with school district process and procedures, cause it's not ours.
No,
It's not ours until they present.
Yeah.
We don't know, and I mean,
All right.
I'd like to see what they have, I mean, who knows, they could just go and make something up. Oh, sorry, did I say that?
Okay, no, and I just wanna make sure.
Maybe it's something new.
It could be, I mean,
I
I'm
would
saying,
just
but
say, what is your policy of like after school hours, who is, the person that you contact, who is this? And maybe they don't have a full policy set up for that, maybe they do, but it would be nice to see like what, like.
yeah, they're gonna, the same language they should
Something
have.
as simple as, the point person.
Yeah,
Yeah, just contact this person and this person is available, contact this person.
all right,
And. And also like I said, again, just so that we just have like the clarification of who we are supposed to be contacting. So we're not calling the district office here and saying, we need to talk to somebody, and they're like, well. I guess you
Yeah,
can talk
no,
to whoever, like just so we know, like, so, and at the same point, so we're not like, calling them.
so basically, we're
Asking
asking,
for it and asking, her for stuff that is, below her pay grade, so that she needs to be worrying.
so what we're asking for is an addition of exhibit B that indicates or links or whatever, or spells out its policies and procedures. is that's what we've got as attached in Exhibit B. So we're asking for an Exhibit B with school district policies and procedures that was referenced.
We also need to take into consideration some generic language of who the school district will be contacting. Who are they contacting at TPMPD? I was just going through, so we're asking them for Exhibit B, who the point person is. I think in this, it could also be who are they going to communicate to?
So that's procedures versus, so that's TPMPD procedures, so maybe it's.
Sure, I was just looking at some of the language in our lease with our appendix As and this and who. And it specifically lists out who we're coordinating with when we're talking about appendix A, the school
Well,
PE
that's, yeah, so
schedule.
that's the ILA.
Or the ILA, sorry.
Yeah, which is more detailed than the lease.
Sure.
So that's the question.
Is this info at, is this executive director at, is this A Shapiro at, is this A Shipman at? Who is going to be our point person? And then, and again, processes, procedures, or agreement. If this is just an amendment, I don't see why that can't be listed out as a simple generic language. Just so it's clear where it's
So
going
would
every time.
Would Exhibit B then have school district policies and procedures and TPMPD policies and procedures, and we would list our just under the contact email.
I just think something needs to be in there.
I mean, I think with Brad saying that too, I mean, I would almost say like if we were able to put something together before we send this over, so they have the example of what we would like to see. Or what? Does that make sense?
I mean, if we presented our own draft of what Brian presented to us, that was from the TPM or from the Technical School District.
No, I'm saying like Brad saying, but I said like, that if we basically have, you know, the appendix B part of it, or exhibit B is, our version that we have, if this is our procedure, these are our contact people, if we have that pre-set up to send over with this,
Yeah.
to say, this is what we're doing for exhibit B, what you guys wanna do, this is.
Right, I think that's an excellent.
You know, just so they maybe have like a expectation, understanding what we're asking for,
They
versus
understand.
like, we're like, the process, the procedures, according to your guys' thing, you know, like, really we just wanna know, like, who do we call and when do we call?
I mean, I think it's a little bit heavy-handed to call it policies and procedures. I think it's really just contact information and steps to take, because I can see them, you know, I would go.
That's what I'm saying, like, it just seems like it's a really deep hole to start diving into.
Yeah,
So it
For
says,
nothing really besides who do we call?
right. Well, although I would say that for 1.2.6, and for, basically, this. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was looking for the clause that talks about how the TPM is gonna be tracking stuff, and it's like, you know, what. It's the 1.2.4, the last sentence, TPA will not monitor the use of district parking lots during TPM events. What does that mean? Like, are they expecting a report? Are they expecting?
so what is your, no, I agree, I'm not disagreeing. So what language would you like to be more clarifying? Because I think it's up to us, because it's how we would like to monitor it. So we should, if we wanted,
But is this an addition that Brian put in, or is this something?
No, that was what this.
That was what.
That's just there.
For ESP.
So, I don't know, this is something that people would need to monitor, so I guess, you know, the least restrictive we can be without, you know, like promising every hour, we're gonna count the number of cars, and something different than that.
Well, or is it along the lines of verbiage before where TPMPD will monitor the use of district parking lots during TPMPD events when such usage exceeds, you know, 75% capacity or something?
Oh, yeah,
Something like that, really limiting.
but
when
it's
we-
still, you know, even though you gave a percent, which is fine, I think that's
I'm
a
just
good
making-
idea,
yeah.
but you still have to describe what, you know, how are we monitoring it?
Well, yeah, what is their expectation of that? They put it in there, what do they want us to do? What are they asking us to monitor? How, and what do they expect? What is their expectation of that? And like you said, is it taking pictures of every car that comes through? Is it a matter of we take down
Standing a
licensing.
license plate.
Well, so what would we like to do? I'm just, because let's put it in there, that's what we.
Because I'll be fully transparent from an operations standpoint, there's nothing,
There's
because you can't,
Yeah,
you don't know who's driving what and who's pulling in and who's responsible for what cars. And we do not have the staff or bandwidth to have parking lot monitors. We don't have tags. No one's I don't know if that's what they were referring to, or are they referring specifically to, we will monitor our assigned service center parking upon completion of utilizing the
But
parking.
this is TPMPD event.
No, I know, and TPMPD events may be using secured parking. And so when we're done with it, is it the monitoring of that parking lot, of the last car left, is it our responsibility to communicate so they can lock it? What, I think the question is, what
No,
do they
because-
mean by monitoring?
Yeah, so, because if that's what if that's the case, that's in 1.2.3, which is coordination for secure parking. What
think
if
it's
we
a
just,
question.
what if we just cross it out? Because I mean, if it's not a possibility to monitor, because we do not know who's using it.
Well, the only kind of information that the tool could more easily give is, well, our patrons use the secured parking we have on the Foster lot, and they filled up the service center, and people were still needing parking.
So what if we move this to 1.2.3 and say TPMPD will monitor the use of district secured parking lots during TPMPD events?
That's fair.
Well, except for they're saying during school district high capacity event. Which is really maybe all we care about, because if we've got if there's no high capacity.
No, I'm sorry, I totally misspoke. It should be TPM will monitor the use of district park during school district high capacity events. That's 1.2.3. So it would move to 1.2.3. School district's responsible for coordinating, and providing necessary access to secured parking areas during school district high capacity events. TPMPD will monitor the use of district secured parking lots during school district high capacity events. Because that's the only time we're gonna be using those secured areas. Is it reasonable to monitor
It
use of?
doesn't seem like we need to monitor it if the school isn't having an event.
No, but that it would just, see, we're only using secured parking lots during a school district high capacity event.
We will be using a secured parking lot during a high density event.
From the school district, yeah.
Right,
Which is where,
or even, and we wouldn't need it if it's our event and there is no other. You know,
Correct.
there's nobody else using the parking, so that we've got two lots, basically, if the school is using them, we can use both lots. We wouldn't need to worry about the service center. So the only time we worry about the service center is when there's a school district event and potentially, well, we could just say school district event.
Well, that would be 1.2.3.
But there could also be the case where there's also a school district event, and this is when this happens, is when there's a school district high capacity event and a TPMPD event.
Yeah, but this parking amendment's taking care of anytime there's a school district event, regardless of what we're doing, we get access to,
but they're asking us to monitor
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a.
it, when they're using the parking lot.
Like, really wanna clarify, like, what monitoring.
Yeah, what's your expectation
Like,
about?
what is it? I mean, cause I mean, like, my mind, I mean, like, there is like seeing. What number of cars are in there, is there any cars there, who's, using the lot, blah, 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 but it's also like making sure, like. Is it security and like making sure that stuff's not going, bad things are happening in the parking lot, and we're responsible for everybody, for all of the districts, the TSD event that's going on, we're responsible for. Bad players or bad situations that happen because of that, because we happen to have an event going on the same day.
Well, do we just strike that language completely, because it seems unrealistic that we're gonna be able to monitor anything, any kind of parking in any capacity.
No, right.
But the only thing, so we have had times when we've gone to the school district and said, our people could not find parking. And so I guess where in this draft does it address our patrons not being able to park?
The fact that we have additional parking available at the service center. That's the only thing that.
But that's for high capacity events. That's not for everyday usage.
No, and the expectation is that for everyday usage, there is enough parking. That's the reality. For everyday usage, we do have enough parking. It's just when there are high capacity events.
And then
But
there's
there's not necessarily enough parking during high capacity events for our general public, when we don't have events going on.
When we don't know what's going on.
No, like I'm saying, like when, like if it's just general open swim at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, that parking lot's full from high capacity events.
Right, so if
If
it's a high capacity event, we will have access to that, and our general public, it's gonna be a learning curve of letting them know that they can go park at the service center and come to the pool.
But we're responsible for unlocking the service center, right?
Well, it
I don't,
says.
that,
Well, but then that's
TSC
a
is
full like
responsible.
15 days, we need to give them 15 days notice beforehand.
We don't, they give us 15 days.
Yeah, they only give us 15 days because of the labor union
No,
negotiation.
so they only give us 15 days notice before there's a high capacity event that they would have to have somebody there to open it for us.
And closing it.
That's probably why they have the 15 days, so they have to have somebody open it.
They have to give them that much.
The labor, but, so to answer your question, it is only during school district high capacity events. That,
Well, it's not just school district, it's rentals.
Well,
I just want to be really clear
Yes.
with that. It's not.
Well, like, what about on like nights if there's football games? That's considered a high
Yeah,
capacity
yes,
event.
exactly.
So then we would have to gain access in the evening hours when it's dark to have people park across the street
down by
and then walk across. Am I understanding that
You're
correctly?
absolutely correct. That and the Showalter bus stop is what we're
Which I
asking
see
for.
here.
Yeah,
Well, they probably won't give us the bus loop.
we're putting it in because it was their language was inconsistent. They said areas, secured areas plural, and the picture that they gave back was still showing buses.
Okay.
This will be coming back.
Okay.
What are people's preference about TPMP will monitor the use of parking lots? Strike it.
Well, I mean, if you wanna strike it, I would say strike it, but I would put in the note of like to them, like. If you like do not want to strike this, if this is something that's very important to the TSD, please give us some better information.
Give some additional information.
Because like I said, it's just, to me, I mean, I don't know, like, it's just like a very vague word.
Right, and then
For me.
who knows what their expectations are? And it could be that they wanna know, how many cars there are in the parking lot. and
We have to stand at the
staff
point
to go out.
and a
I
gate.
think they put a lot of time into this.
So I'm just, if we did strike it, we would ask them to provide, context. If they,
Or if they insist on having it.
context on what monitoring, what the expectation is of monitoring. We took it out because it was unclear what the expectation was of the TPMD for monitoring.
Yeah,
Well, and I might say in that it was struck out because we were concerned regarding, the level of monitoring that was being requested, that we thought might be being requested.
It's pretty vague, I think.
It's very vague. I mean, if they wanna clarify it and they wanna, it's not, they know, I mean, they're already, conceding that they need, a minimum of 15, they can give us 15 days. Because they have to, get somebody to come in and open the gates.
yeah, it's like this, yeah.
So
I wanted
concerned
to more
monitoring
information what it
expectations.
means. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'm also like, I mean, it's concerning like, or if it's like, monitoring in the, viewpoint of like, say, like at the last event where, we were telling people, no, you can't park in this road, you can park anywhere else. And I mean, is that us monitoring and telling people what to do?
yeah,
I'm
that's
saying,
fair.
it's just, there's
So-
so much.
Take it out and
And
provide,
if,
that there was concern of what the monitoring expectation, if that can be further clarified, it would be considered.
Right.
That sound fair?
Exactly.
Okay. So, any other concerns? other than the policies proceed exhibit, creating an exhibit B that has TPMPD, contact info, and school district coming back with what clarification of their policies and procedures that they referenced.
Did they call it B1? Is there a B3?
I don't know why it's B1.
I think Brian put that in, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it should just be B.
I think it might be just, I think,
I don't know.
I'm not
The
sure.
slash mark under the B1 in master?
Yeah, it should be just exhibit B. So 3 things. Add TPMPD contact info to exhibit B, request the school district provide their process and procedures as referenced in exhibit B as referenced in the proposed amendment, and strike the TPMPD monitor use of district parking lots during TPMPD events. With clarifying language of there was concern of what the monitoring expectation was. Are those the 3 things? Is there a motion to amend?
I move that we amend the TPMPD's legal version of this lease to include the items that were just discussed. To be more specific.
To add TPMPD contact info into exhibit B, request TSD policies and procedures outlined in exhibit B, and strike this sentence, TPMPD will monitor the use of district parking lots during TPM.
With comments included.
With comments, or
Exactly.
that's.
Will the policies and procedures for exhibit B include contact information?
Yes, that's,
You will provide our example.
Right. But I was just wondering, like, word wise,
Let's just make sure. There will be additional, language that goes along with this that includes,
process procedures and contact information.
contact info, including contact info. That's
Right, and then just.
Put it all up there.
Yeah, no intent, you're gonna do a B.
Yeah.
And you're gonna start the template by showing how to put in contact.
kind of like in school where you fill in parts of it. And guide, some guidance, gentle guidance. Does that, Gary, does that satisfy?
There's no second, yes.
Sorry?
There's no second.
Oh,
You
yeah,
made the motion, but nobody seconded it yet.
yeah, why didn't I?
I was waiting for the
So I was
full
the
motion to be created with all this.
Okay, is there a second?
Cause then it would be discussion.
Yes.
Commissioner Shipman seconds.
All right, now we can have discussion on the amended.
Yeah.
Make a motion that I go forward.
Make the motion.
We've already
With the
made
amended, with the amended.
Yeah, we're on discussion of the amended motion.
Yes, I know, but I'm making a motion that we keep go forward with the amended motion.
Okay, are you calling the questions? What you're doing?
To move forward to the school district with the
Yeah.
amendment, is that what you're, is that?
Yeah,
yes. Okay, I saw some consternation in Jerry's eyes there, maybe.
Jerry, what were you?
I wanna make sure that everyone gets a chance for
Oh, no,
discussion.
I don't have anything to say. I'm not,
I think it's just the way the sun is hitting her eyes from the window. The shades.
I got nothing.
Okay. I just wanna make sure everyone gets a chance to,
No, I think that that's good, those amendments are good.
Andrew?
No comment or questions.
Okay, and no further discussion on the amended draft. All those in favor of approving the amended draft, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those
Aye.
opposed? All those
Nay.
opposed? It is 4-1, so. Okay, so. Do we need to withdraw the original motion? Ellen, can you just withdraw the original motion?
I would tell the original motion.
The first motion to approve the legal draft.
So that.
We didn't put a second motion in, we amended one of it.
What's this now?
We didn't,
With them?
we didn't vote on the first one, did we?
No, we didn't. That's why I wanted to withdraw that one, the original one, and we just voted to approve the draft as amended. Yeah. So, all right. So that will go to the school board this week. Next week, with those notes, Brad, and I'll make sure that the notes reflect the intent of this conversation. Okay. Moving on to business item B, TPMPD goals. And as I mentioned before, in the memo, what really got the ball rolling was the comp plan. And it's a required element of the comp plan, and the comp plan timeline kind of started to dictate a goals timeline, which was something we've been talking about for a long time. So I just wanted to start getting the ball rolling. And does anyone have any questions about the memo? Doesn't memo make sense?
I like how you, on the last page, listed the different, the goals and what addresses what.
The mission and how it ties the mission, it aligns with the mission and vision.
I think that was very well.
No, I thought it was very well put together, the amount of stuff, and how it's broken out by and the timelines. I thought it was all very helpful. Excellent.
Thank you. So. High level. I guess because we want to draft some goals for next meeting. And it doesn't have to happen tonight, ideas, etc. I just wanted to have a high level conversation about, are there goals that you really want to make sure are a priority and addressed in our strategic goals? Not necessarily like this objective should be before that objective or anything like that, but just, let's make sure we have this as a goal, high level. Aaron, I'm sure you have an idea of what you'd like for a goal. Okay. And so these are just an example. Once again, this was just presented. Brad's going to all of the staff. I really felt important to make sure that all the staff provide input towards goals as well. So I want to, and then if you look at the timeline, we want to make sure that TPAC has a chance to weigh in and look at it. And
Is this something that I think we discussed with the retreat?
no, it's not, because it needs to be done before then. So if you look at this under the discussion, the second page of my memo, the strategic goals suggest a timeline. What I'm looking for tonight is actually an approval of that timeline, so we are all moving deliberately towards it. This timeline gives us an ability to get the comprehensive plan timeline in line with what it needs to be to meet the deadlines, like to have it reviewed by our RCO grant people and stuff. So this is an element of the comp plan. So strategic goals are important. So, we'd like to have them finalized within a couple months. Now we can do an additional work session if that's needed too. That's certainly doable. I just wanted to get a timeline out there so that everyone's, so it's transparent to everyone what I am hoping for.
So are you looking to approve the timeline?
Yeah, just to know that we can still we can start moving forward, and then also if anyone has any goals like tonight that I could start writing them down so we can start writing goals. And you can email us also.
So it sounds like you want all the goals draft to happen on 8/11.
Yeah. And that will incorporate staff and board input into a goals document. And then we'll have a discussion in our August meeting of a draft goals. Once again, this is just an example. This isn't necessarily a draft. This is an example, but an actual draft that will then could go to TPAC for their August meeting for them to review it also. If we need to do a work session, if there's more, more stuff that needs to be discussed, we can do that sometime in August, between the middle of August towards the end, and then have, a discussion for a final in September. So I'm unclear.
On page 25, work session is needed.
I meant to put just August. It's not 8/25 specifically a date, 8/25/25.
That's August
It's
2020.
August 2025. I should have put that.
Yes, because I'm confused why page 25 doesn't have a year.
Yes. I thank you for that clarification. Sometime in August, if it's needed, we can do that. What are people's thoughts about working towards goals? Getting goals done, strategic goals?
I think it's like a rudder and a ship, right? It gives us direction.
I think it's been a goal of goals to make goals for a while, so I think that the forcing it to happen is probably the best route.
Rather than the spontaneous.
Not organic.
Well, I mean, like I said, we've had
Yeah.
multiple different conversations, we have done different, I guess. Pre-COVID and stuff, or, some of the stuff where we, wrote stuff up and started discussing it, and we have all over.
The supporter. Here.
No, I agree with, that it's important. I think it's definitely this is pushing our hand to get it going. But regarding the timeline, is that what you're asking us to approve? I know it indicates that we'll be getting staff input that will be added.
Which
But-
now in August, 11th, sorry.
But there's not gonna be like a big group roundtable where everybody gets a chance to speak and not just coming from one set of. Where you get to hear everybody's opinion. It's just a question, I'm just asking, like from Anastasia, from Matthew, from staff, from Emily, from whomever, and we know we're putting it to TPAC.
Right.
It doesn't look like it's going to PMOC, but I guess they're.
No,
that's
it's
still-
because it's not PMOC goals, it's district goals.
So that's why TPAC's involved. So it's just that by first of September, with getting everybody's input, I know it's all.
So staff input and board input will be incorporated into the August 11th draft.
But that's not verbally, there's not a big,
There's not,
like we do at the retreat where everybody, but that's the question I have, is that we're just going off of. Brad going to his staff and getting the information, or Anastasia going to staff, or whatever,
that's a great question.
we're getting it secondhand or not hearing it from
Directly,
the horse's mouth.
okay.
Well, I mean, along with that too, I do think that traditionally, I think all of us have done like a lot more like what we are doing, like round table discussing, oh wait, that's right, and actually this and this and this, and there is a lot more conversation to be had, and maybe like more refining of what those goals can be if it is an open discussion. But I also know that we're really good at getting off of track and we start going down the goal the wrong direction and consuming a lot of time.
Yeah, because I think we can do that as a board at our August meeting. you know, because there's not a lot in our August meeting anyway. So we can have it as a board roundtable discussion for draft, to talk about the draft, but I guess
Well,
back to.
Well, I'm gonna just say, why can't 8:25 if it's already on the timeline?
No, there's not, it's not 8:25 the date.
It's just in August.
It's
August
August.
22nd.
Sorry, that was my mistake.
It's August.
August. Why not in August? We refine the goals that we initially set out to do and have an
We needed to do
open.
it sooner than, we
Okay.
can't wait that long.
Okay.
What does the staff look like as far as a roundtable discussion? The staff, I'm curious.
They can- Well, we've already started our discussions, but if I actually think there's value in folks refining goals as a team, so if there's opportunity. That would be great, and if it can happen at a board meeting, BoC draft goals, you
That's
can
what I'm-
invite Anastasia and Matthew and some staff and volunteers in for that discussion,
On August 11th.
which would help feed to refine before the final draft,
Which is still 8:25.
which is
It's not
still.
8:25, please stop that.
Well, no, I'm just,
No, so I like your input there.
because of the SFC thing, I think you mentioned it when you were
Yeah.
talking feasibility, how we got a lot of different input, different people came to the table. I'm not saying we're gonna do a whole day event, I'm just, people have a chance to voice what they wanna say.
So let's do this, our August BoC meeting, let's have a roundtable discussion with staff, invite, you know, TPAC if they wanna come, you know, for that too. And the BoC, cause there's not a lot in that meeting and we can be efficient at it. Does that seem like? And that way but I would like to have a draft to work from
Yeah.
at that time, and then to have a discussion about that draft as a big group. Is that what I'm hearing?
And when you say a draft to work from, you're saying a different draft than you begin.
Well, if I don't get any more input, it's gonna be this,
Okay.
but I would like input before that.
Yeah.
To incorporate, and then we can have a discussion on what got incorporated and why this is better than that.
So I guess it would seem advisable then for operations to certainly invite anybody who'd like to come on the 11th, but maybe before the 11th, try and get some other, you know, have little round tables.
It sounds like you've already
Yeah,
started.
we've got a loose roadmap of our discussions when we initially started
Yeah.
the discussion that we just need to plug into the draft, but yes, clearly we should be refining it, especially from our head guard 2, head guard 1, and some of our long-term staff who have a view on what their envisionment is, especially as they get excited for our future development. So it would be interesting to hear.
And then have,
our
yeah, the
part-time staff.
roundtable
Yeah.
discussion.
So is TPAC working on goals this Saturday?
No,
Cause you're asking by August 16th.
no, so what comes out of our roundtable on
Will
August
go to-
11th will be drafted
And
and
reviewed
then
by.
reviewed by TPAC.
Got it.
And then any additional input gives us another, you know, a few weeks to get it to the board on September. Does that seem like a better plan?
But
Well, they
Bob-
will have the opportunity to come to CPAC if they also. like.
Yes.
If if they're intimidated by a board meeting, they could
Right.
just come to TPAC.
Yeah.
On the 16th,
Or
That's
if
not-
their date doesn't work, right?
just saying. Give them they have an option.
No, so I'm just, so 8/11 would be POC goals draft and roundtable discussion. Does that sound? Good? Okay, thank
I
you.
made a mistake, sorry, I apologize. I put 8, come to TPAC 8:25, I meant to put 8, thank you.
Andrew,
8:16,
what do you
25.
think?
What was that?
What do you think?
Like Aaron said, we've had goals upon goals of making goals, and I've never made high level goals or anything like this before, so I'm just really interested to see how this goes.
Okay. And you're good with having a roundtable discussion as part of our August 11th board meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right.
Gonna cross out that timeline of 8/25. So let me know if there are things here that you hate, you want crossed out, and I'll collect all the input. Or if there's things that you love and we're totally missing, once again, just an example here. I think it's more helpful to start with something versus nothing.
I agree.
So. Okay. So just, I don't need to vote on it, just generally people agree with the timeline? Yeah, okay.
Fine.
There is no vote, there's one I said,
Agree.
Don't take those eyes.
No.
And thank you, I was like, Emily, don't.
Or being heard, Jerry.
And that being said, I think that's very well, like finance goals and stuff, and obviously the visioning goal. I'm gonna say one thing that, like, I'm not married to anything except for future visioning goal 1, expand the district's physical programming footprint, including the addition of warm water through a well-managed community informed path. So that's a goal that I.
So if we don't like that, we're not gonna tell you.
But if you do tell them, do it on 8/25, because that doesn't exist, right? So you can just say whatever you want.
Off track. I'm just saying. Okay, all right. And I heard we like having them align mission vision in a table like that, that help keep everything focused.
It's critical, because I will say that that is one thing that I think is consistent amongst this group of individuals. Does this align with, and are we following our mission, vision, and values? So that's appreciated. Thank you for putting that together.
Okay, well, that went well.
That was great. Good job, Vanessa, for all your hard work on that. I know that was a lot of work.
Oh, it's fun. It's good. It was a collaborative event.
No, you did a great job with it.
Yeah, we discussed it different times. Brad started kind of the framework for me, and I just.
Vanessa, Brad.
Let's put some bubbles
Let's
in.
go. But that's good. We like the dynamic, so we appreciate everyone coming to the table and listening, so.
Okay, so if no one has anything to add to the goals discussion, we will move on to commissioner reports. Oh, order of condition, so that's me. Okay. So since May, we haven't made that since May, so May 15th, I attended a Dynadome webinar, which was super interesting. Just hearing different options and ones that are being successful and just some best practices, so that was just an interesting, and water safety was always fun, that's always a fun event. We did a tabling thing for feasibility, and what I really liked was I was able to get some input from staff members I don't normally see, so that was great to integrate with them. May 20th, I went to a MRSC electronic bidding webinar that was bonfire training, and that was kind of interesting. They had a university, is it UPS or something? I can't remember which university it was, who said, this is how I do it. And they actually went through and showed how to do a bonfire bidding, and they provided, an example, they provided documents after to make it easier to show what it was they used. So that was, I thought, because you were there, right, Brad?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was good to see.
It's relevant to what we are embarking on, and I hope to see those tools become incorporated in how we move forward, so.
Yeah, some just tips and tricks on how to use it. June 10th, Jerry, Brad, Emily, and myself got to go to MRSC's Navigating Public Works contract payments, and that was a full day seminar.
Sounds exciting.
It wasn't that bad.
So we had a good time. It was probably could have been, that's a little bit, but it was a good lunch.
Good luck. She was a good speaker, though. She kept folks engaged. She knew the material, and I think that was critical. It's tough when you get folks up there that are struggling with material, but overall, it was good.
Yeah, it was helpful to go to.
Yeah.
And
Emily also was with us.
Emily drove right in that day. So thank you for showing up for that one. Then I mentioned this 6/12, we had the city team again, TPMPD meeting, obviously SFC planning meetings, outreach meetings. TSD, I actually did attend this June 25th board meeting because when they approved this moving forward with policemen, so I was just curious their conversation on it, and just an FYI, they asked me in the audience if I would like to speak,
They did.
and which was kind of them. I indicated that I was there to listen to the conversation session only, and I wasn't here to speak at that time, but it was nice that they included me, or acknowledged that I was there. And, so that was good. It was just interesting. They did not have any discussion on it, though. However, Dave Larson did very kindly comment that he attended the
Engagement event.
the SFC meeting and thought it was helpful. So that was nice. And finally, I listened to Alexa Poll Grant Services webinar that Jerry actually had given me some information on. And that was interesting, just more information on different grants that are available. So it's an ongoing education. So that's been my report. You're number 2, right?
I went to water safety. Yeah, it was very good. And yeah, and Anastasia, you did a really, really great job. I wanted to go to the mangoes. I heard they got new volunteer shirts. I'm all excited about that. Di had a great time.
She's holding it down for me.
And, but I'm sorry, I was kind of having some medical issues. And then, I got together with some TPAC members and PMOC members, and we discussed what we think we want to do going forward, so we're gonna present that at the meeting on Saturday. I think that's the end of my.
I don't know what those numbers, but who's number 3?
Is that me? And there's me. I think that's me. I have no report because you already reported out from the MRC the first.
Then Andrew.
Mr. Stahl.
That was my turn. I have no report. Sorry about that.
I mean, ditto to Alan, really, I mean, yeah, water safety and a couple things. Been hanging out at the pool doing stuff, that's for stuff.
Big
Take
stuff,
care of Brad,
big stuff.
sure it's got.
He needs to.
Yeah, I
Okay.
heard that happen.
Stay off the pool deck.
And miscellaneous? They don't have any miscellaneous? I just have one little, I don't know if it's possible, could we possibly do a posting, it's supposed to be very hot these next 3 days, it's a 90s, 80s, 90s, just indicating that we're open for like late listing our public swim hours, just as a public service announcement to them.
It's too bad you can't call it the cooling place.
I know, right? Cooling, so I could turn the boiler off and just have cold water. We could turn the boiler off and just have cool water.
Oh,
But just to let our community know that we have a pool, because we do have a lot of open hours during the day and stuff that people just are flexible.
and if they get in the pool, they will be cooler than 90 degrees.
You have camps are closed down.
Okay. Just, or whatever hours we're open, just to let people know that this is an option for them, then that can also be like reposted in all the new community Facebook groups. Thank you.
Motion?
Looking for a motion.
I make a motion that we and
Adjourn.
adjourn.
Anyone seconds?
Jerry?
Here's your Angela Anderson seconds.
Any discussion on adjourning? All those in favor say aye.
I.
I.
Those opposed?
All right. Still left them confused that I did second.